One shall stand, one shall fall.
Hey guys, hello gorgeous. I am so excited for today's review. Now I got a lot of cool 80s swag, but to be honest, I haven't been this excited since I got my USS flag. And before that, I probably haven't been this excited since 1984 when I got my original Optimus Prime. I've been waiting a long time for this guy. It's the MAS-01 Mega Action 18-inch Optimus Prime. I pre-ordered this bad boy from Robot Kingdom last summer, and I usually have superhuman patience when it comes to waiting for things, but this is one item I have thought about frequently.
I've been waiting for this chance.
First of all, I want to say thank you to Robot Kingdom for packing the box so securely. They used a really good cardboard box and insulated it with styrofoam boards. When you pay this much for an item, even if you don't display it with the box, it's nice to get a box that's not smashed due to sloppy packing. Seriously, I can't convey how excited I am to get this thing. Optimus Prime is my hero, and he has been since 1984.
We must have courage, Huffer. We can't ignore the danger. We must conquer it.
The original G1 Optimus was one of my favorite toys as a kid, and then the Power Master Optimus Prime that came out in 1988. And while I do like the various Masterpiece Optimus Primes that have come out, none of them really felt definitive to me. They didn't wow me, they didn't knock my socks off like the original G1 did. Alright, Mega Prime comes in this colossal box with some really nice custom artwork on the front. This is not a third-party item, this is an officially licensed Transformer. For those who care, the packaging is really nice, really glossy, high-quality paper used here. It's so glossy, it easily picks up fingerprints. I don't like to pay this much for my collectibles, but the rare time I do, it's nice to get a super high quality packaging like this to wrap it up in. I usually don't care about the box, but man, this is pretty. The outer cover of the box slides off to reveal the window box containing Mega Action Optimus.
I don't like it. Something's wrong.
Now some people might be wondering why I'm getting so excited about a Transformer that doesn't transform. I mean, he's basically just an oversized action master, right? Wrong. But I'll get into that in a bit.
Very soon, Mirage. Very soon.
On the back, there's a little write-up about Transformers and Optimus Prime, listing all of his honorable, heroic, noble qualities, which is why we love him. Hey, somebody get a copy of this to Michael Bay. The box opens from the side, and it's a little tricky to get out, especially if you're trying to not block a camera view. Comes in a plastic shell, which sits in this really nice arc-looking cardboard holder.
Teletran, survey the local power stations.
Order acknowledged.
He is securely attached to the plastic here, lots of tie wraps holding him in. And just when you think you got him free, foot tie wraps.
I've almost got it.
Come on, Prime. You can do it. Try harder.
You got it. You got it.
Come on. There.
There's two parts of this figure that light up, the matrix and his eyes. Now the instructions say both the matrix and the head require 3 LR626 batteries. I couldn't find these anywhere.
Oh no.
But what I did end up finding is Energizer 377 watch batteries, which are supposed to be the same thing, so we'll see if these work. You unscrew the back cover of the matrix, slip in the 3 batteries in the direction the instructions tell you to, and if they're the right type of batteries, when you push the button, it lights our darkest hour. And wow, this thing is really bright. I mean, it's almost like a little mini spotlight. You can see the blue glare on the lens. It is really powerful. You can see the spotlight effect here on Optimus too. I wasn't expecting something this bright. This is awesome. It should be this bright if it's able to destroy Unicron or cure the hate plague. To make the eyes light up, you remove this cover in the back of his head, pop in the 3 batteries, and if you've got the right ones and in the right direction, pressing this button right here will make his eyes light up. And wow! This is awesome! They are really, really bright. It makes him look so powerful! I cannot get over how awesome this looks. Visually, I always thought this was one of the coolest parts about Transformers. They were robots with light-up eyes. But there's been very few Transformers with actual light-up eyes. And when they do light up, it isn't really all that bright. But this is gorgeous!
Perfect.
I'll turn off a couple of my lights just to show you how bright it is in a dim setting. So awesome! And here he is in pitch black. Just like other Masterpiece versions of Optimus Prime, you can fit the Matrix into his chest. And even though he does have a lot of poseability, he doesn't have quite enough in his arm, shoulder, and elbow to hold his chest plate open. Alright, let's talk about his articulation a bit. He's got a lot of it. His head moves up and down, left and right, and he's got neck articulation as well. You can give him some really cool looking tilts. Lots of articulation in the arms despite how bulky he is. Standard finger articulation, bends at every knuckle, but you'll be happy to hear that these are sturdy fingers. Sometimes they're floppy because they're so flexible, but these can easily hold their shape. Sometimes with these extremely articulated fingers, they can look a little bit too thin when you go for a pointing pose. This looks perfect. Prime's got big, mighty hands of steel. Well, plastic, but it looks like steel.
Prepare for battle! There they are.
And a cool little extra point of articulation is this wrist joint right here, which lets the hand go up and down. Shoulder articulation is fantastic. Even though he doesn't transform, the joints come out just like on the Masterpiece figure to give more range. He's got these hip skirts that pop up to allow more articulation in his legs. This is a really sturdy figure. And just to show you how sturdy he is, remember that kick pose I did with Classics Panthro? Well, thanks to ratcheting joints, this ginormous Optimus Prime can hold the same pose. And he's even sturdier than Panthro. I can actually spin him around without having him fall. This is incredible. He's doing the splits. Well, if he can do that pose, he could pretty much do any standing or running pose.
It's just you and me now, Megatron.
He's got this great articulation in his ankle, which lets him hold running or stepping forward poses. The gun is awesome. It seems just as bulky and powerful as this Optimus himself. He holds it very securely. Sometimes with these pegs that fit into the hand, it can be a bit loose, or the peg is too big and it doesn't fit at all. This wedges in perfectly, and you don't even need his fingers to hold it in place. It's little things like that that make it feel like it's worth the price. And they even gave him spinning wheels in the back.
Let's roll!
That's what I really like about this design. Even though he doesn't transform, he looks like he transforms. His sculpt looks like it comes apart in certain places.
Very perceptive.
Now this is going to be a real sticking point for a lot of people. They're just not going to be able to get over the fact that he's a transformer that doesn't transform.
That does not satisfy my logic circuits.
For me personally, this is not an action master. This is a super posable, highly detailed, beautiful piece of art. This really captures who Optimus Prime is to me. Powerful looking, monumentous, colossal. And to be honest, a lot of the modern transformations in the Masterpiece figures and the third-party Masterpiece figures are a little too complicated for my tastes. In order to make the figure look great in both robot and vehicle mode, they sometimes come up with very tricky transformations, which are hard to accomplish and could even damage the figure. Personally, I don't transform my Transformers. I either keep them in robot mode or in vehicle mode, and I don't play around with them very much. If I want to transform something, I'll transform an original G1 Transformer. Those are fun. Transforming Bagcube's War Dog, for me, is not fun. I love Prime's truck mode, but for me the robot mode is more important. And this particular version of Optimus just blows me away. It really makes me feel like a kid again. I feel like I did when I was 10 years old and I got G1 Optimus Prime. It's that intangible magic that's so rare. And they captured it in this piece for me. I just love the whole look of them. The paint job is fantastic. I do want to mention though, the red part of Prime does look a little pink compared to other versions of Optimus Prime. It's a really nice metallic red, but not like KFC's Transistor, aka Masterpiece Blaster. This is a much lighter red, which at first I thought might have been a painting error. I like my Prime bright cherry red, but after a while this color's really grown on me. I think for the sheer size of this figure, going with the muted red was the right call. Now here's one of the big reasons I was so excited for this Optimus Prime. Not just this past year, but ever since 1984. I have always wanted a G.I. Joe scaled Optimus Prime.
Hold your fire! We cannot endanger the humans!
It killed me back in the 80s that Transformers and G.I. Joe weren't compatible. And I always thought if I could just have one giant Transformer that was in scale with the Joes, it would be Optimus Prime. And we finally have him. Now, a while ago, there was another 18-inch Optimus Prime that was released, but that one was far out of my price range, going for over $1,000 US. This guy is by no means cheap, but he's a fraction of that price, and I think he looks 1,000 times better. Here he is with a high command of G.I. Joe. I just love how they display together. There were complaints that this Optimus looked too bulky, but I think he looks perfect alongside G.I. Joe's. And for a couple other comparisons, obviously we have to do a before and after. Here he is with the original G1 1984 Optimus Prime.
Every Autobot knows I am the genuine Optimus Prime.
And here he is with the second Masterpiece Prime.
Amazing. He looks exactly like me.
As well as the first Masterpiece Prime.
I welcome the challenge.
And the oversized Wei Jiang Masterpiece Optimus Prime.
He's obviously a Decepticon imposter.
You can really see the difference in reds here. The Masterpiece Primes are cherry red, while Mega Action Optimus is that muted metallic strawberry color. And here he is with G1 Fortress Maximus. Fort Max is a bit taller than Mega Action Optimus Prime, but he doesn't seem that much bigger, thanks to Optimus's bulk. Here he is making Fortress Maximus in City Mode look minuscule.
Prime calling Omega Supreme.
And with G1 Omega Supreme. And with Titan Devastator.
Devastator says, your end is near.
They're about the same height, but Optimus seems so much bigger because of the bulk. This to me really shows why going with the bulky look was the right call. Devastator looks way too skinny by comparison, especially for a Gestalt combiner. And here he is with the only Transformer I have that can match him for size and girth, Titan's Return Fortress Maximus.
Fat sense, fathead!
Who's quite a bit taller and almost as bulky. And here's where I'll be displaying him from now on the deck of the USS Flag. I just love giant robots, and I think it's so cool that now I have one in scale with my aircraft carrier. Would it have been nice if he transformed?
I don't know. Maybe.
Especially if there was room for G.I. Joes to sit in his cab. But giving him the ability to transform, I think would have taken away some of his stability made him more fragile, and definitely increased his price. So I'm really happy with what we have here.
All right, let's go home.
So what do you think of Mega Action Optimus Prime? Does he knock your socks off like he did for me? Or is the lack of transformation a sticking point? Scroll down and go to town. And to join the tribe, hit subscribe.
Nerd must stay.